little lunch break here. For YouTube's sake, there are no firearm sales on the channel. There are never any firearm sales on the channel. There are no firearm sales. Okay, so kind of the topic I wanted to chit chat today about before I get incredibly distracted with the comment section are going to be these guys right here. So on the table today, we have three different types of revolvers, and we're kind of going to just be chatting a little bit about these revolvers and a little bit about whether or not they're still like viable and practical firearms in today's day and age. If you guys have been on the channel for any period of time, you know, I really do have an appreciation for kind of all weapon systems, and I think everything is a lot of fun and interesting kind of in their own way. But you know, we're gonna go through and talk a little bit about these three guys specifically that I have on the table today, and then kind of chat a little bit about like what their roles would be and if they're still viable options. So, you know, we do have the AKs lurking in the background as well. So if I get distracted enough, maybe we'll talk about those. But the three revolvers that we kind of have on the table today, this is a Smith & Wesson revolver, chambered in .357. And of course, that also does do shoot 38 special as well. On the opposite side of the table today, I think I had this one out yesterday. This is the Ruger Red Hawk, chambered in .44 Magnum. And in the center of these two guys is the smallest revolver I have in the collection, and this is going to be the Ruger SP101 Tallow edition. What makes this one fancy is all of the fancy little engravings on it. I think it's just a real slick looking piece for sure. I guess we'll start talking about this one. So I actually bought this one. It's one of the first guns that I bought that wasn't like inherited or anything crazy like that. And I kind of ended up buying this one to rock as like an everyday carry gun. And we'll kind of talk about how that ended up and why I don't very often use this practically. But I'll kind of start off by saying, I mean, this is just an absolute beautiful piece. This one right here really kind of is like a little work of art. Just kind of give you my hand size for reference. So it is a small little revolver. I would kind of say if we directly compare it to the Smith & Wesson here, like you can definitely appreciate that it is kind of a tiny little guy. So this one is not a 6-shooter. This one is only 5 rounds, only holds 5 rounds in the chamber. And it's chambered in that .357 and .38 special. Again, I did actually originally buy this revolver to carry. Sebastiano says, hello, am Italy. Nice. I'm actually, I'm Italian as well, so cool. But bought this little gun to carry, and at the time, I don't want to say I got like scammed by the gun store, but I feel like I kind of did. I was looking for like a practical concealed carry gun. And this was kind of before I got super in the weeds with like firearms in the firearm space. And I was kind of just looking for a cool gun that I could carry like either in my work bag or like, you know, on my hip or something along those lines. And I saw this one and I just like, I mean, it is just absolutely a beautiful piece with these nice redwood grips, rubberized grips as well. So it actually feels pretty good in the hand. And then of course we have our like super fancy and fly engravings on this as well. So it looked really cool. I picked it up, it felt pretty good in the hand. And, you know, I was talking to the gun store dude and basically he was like, oh, like this is a perfect carry weapon. And, you know, kind of not necessarily knowing any better and just kind of believing what the dude told me. I ended up buying it. And I think I ended up paying close to $1,200 for this gun, which is a ton of money for a revolver. Well, revolvers are incredibly expensive regardless, but $1,200 was kind of a lot of money to spend on like a 5-round EDC weapon. Still ended up getting it. It's fun to shoot. I do enjoy it. But with, I think it's only I think it's a 2-inch barrel on this. Oh, Dylan Martin Fishing, he's back. What's up? What's up, man? But there's only a 2-inch barrel on this. Not that it's ballistically bad with like .357 or .38 special, because those are some pretty high caliber, like high powered rounds. But shooting .357 out of this is actually incredibly miserable. Obviously, this is a super small gun when we compare it to like a full size revolver like the Smith & Wesson .357 I have rocking over here. So definitely a much smaller size. And when you're shooting .357 out of this, it is snappy as hell, and it actually like it hurts. Like it hurts your hands. I think the most I've ever shot like in a row 357. I think I've ran through like 20 or 25 rounds of 357, and like it just hurts. It's not incredibly enjoyable. Now shooting 38 special out of this guy actually is incredibly pleasant. It's one of those things where just that lower charge of the 38 special, actually the recoil is not too bad, and it's not too fun or not too miserable to shoot. As far as carrying this, it's actually like it's heavy. Despite the size, like it is small, obviously when we compare it to these full size guys over here, but it's pretty heavy to carry. I did actually end up rocking a alien gear holster with this guy as well. And it wasn't something incredibly comfortable. So I ended up actually selling the alien gear holster. And honestly, I kind of just have this gun for decoration almost at this point. I watched some of your videos and enjoyed them all. Also, bro is jacked. Well, I appreciate both of those things. I do really try for this channel. I do my best. Can you answer a question? What is the reason for using a compensator on a handgun? Yeah, man. So I do like running comps on handguns. Of course, the 3 guns I have out on the table today are revolvers. So they're not using any threaded barrels. I do have a muzzle brake on the AK sitting right here. And essentially the purpose of a compensator is to decrease muzzle flip and recoil for a handgun. At the expense of that, you are getting a little bit more of a muzzle flash. You are getting a little bit more concussion. But using a compensator on a handgun is just one of those things that allows you to prevent that muzzle flip, keep that muzzle down, and essentially get like quicker follow-up shots. So I definitely love and I do enjoy using comps on handguns quite a bit. They're a lot of fun. I would say it's not necessarily like the best if you're going to be like a CQB weapon system, because that flash and that concussion is going to suck a little bit. But especially when we're just talking kind of like 9mm handguns, it's really not too bad. So yeah, I do enjoy my comps on my pistols, but you know, just chatting about the revolvers today. But yeah. So anyways, I ended up buying this gun to carry and really never carried it. Not that I'm opposed to carrying revolvers. My gripes about carrying this one specifically, capacity, right? So this one only has a 5-round capacity, like even smaller than the traditional like 6-round capacity of the regular normal revolvers, I guess I would say. So only 5-round capacity, and for its small size, it is still incredibly heavy. And something that I guess I didn't really consider is the width of the gun, because you know it's kind of hard to appreciate on the table here. But obviously, when we have this like wheel that holds the rounds, I mean it's pretty thick. So especially when you compare it to something like a single stack or even some of the double stack 9mm handguns, like this revolver here is still quite a bit thicker. So ended up buying it to carry, never really carried it. So kind of a little bit of a bust, but I still think it's a really beautiful piece. I really appreciate the wood grips and the rubberized grips and the engravings and just kind of the two-tone is fucking sick. Colt Python is king, if you ask me. Yeah, I don't have a Colt Python, and I really want one. I struggle because this Smith & Wesson here, it's not the Colt Python. Like, I get it, but it's a very similar gun. So for me to go out and spend like, I mean, what are they charging? Like $1,500 for a Colt Python? I just don't know if it's incredibly worth it. That revolver is beautiful, though. Yeah, man, it is. It's not necessarily, especially when we compare it to something like the gun I normally carry. Like I usually am carrying either my Glock 17 or the SIG P365. It's just kind of outclassed in a sense. For a carry gun, I don't necessarily recommend a revolver. And if I did, I would actually get one of the, maybe like the Ruger LCR, which is a smaller, lighter revolver, and it actually has an internal hammer as well. Because not that I ever really ran into issues with the exposed hammer carrying, but it is a kind of like another snag point for close and another like point of failure if something were to like get a little funky with it. So I still like this gun, just don't really shoot it as much, especially when we compare shooting this guy to shooting the full-size Smith & Wesson revolver. It really kind of just is night and day. Shooting this one is a blast. This one is really only manageable with 38 special. Shooting 357 out of this just kind of sucks. But for this revolver, You could shoot 38 special absolutely all day. Like with the weight of this gun, it's incredibly low recoiling. There's like it really kind of feels almost like shooting like a 22 when you're shooting 38 special out of this, just because of the weight of the gun. But shooting 357 out of this full size revolver is actually like very pleasant as well. I would say it probably recoils obviously a little bit more than 9 mil, but like, to be honest, it doesn't really recoil that much more, to the point where it's like miserable to shoot. I don't really love, this is kind of just maybe a personal thing, but I don't really love like the grip of really any of these revolvers. It's just kind of that weird like beak hook grill. Are you shooting 38 wad cutters or 38 special? Yeah, it was just the 38 special. No, none of the wad cutters. Afraid of 357 because I broke my hand previously and had surgery. Yeah, I mean, like I said, if you were to shoot 357 out of a full size, it's not too bad. But shooting it out of this gun like kind of sucks. Again, I do have like some 357 hollow points that I will carry in this gun like occasionally, but yeah, it's not fun to take to the range and start blasting off 357 with this small guy. I mean, like I said, with a big full-size revolver like this, I mean, this is a 6-inch barrel on this Smith & Wesson here, and the recoil is really not bad. It's, of course, a ton of fun. Yeah, so I do have a Hogue grip on this one, and I like it, but I had a Hogue grip on this one too, but there's something about like the wood grip on this one that just aesthetically I liked quite a bit more. Obviously, it's not quite as comfortable. You're 100% right. But it's just a little bit vibey. I actually think I have the exact same, this grip, whatever Hogue grip this is, for this gun as well. And I was already kind of running the 44 mag with the Hogue, so I figured I'd rock this one wood. Currently, as in my current range gun. It should be fine. Depends on what kind of surgery you had, though, I guess. But this one's a ton of fun to shoot with at the range. Again, you're not really going to be carrying this gun. I mean, I guess, I don't know. Like, I don't really think you could. You could definitely do like an outside the waistband carry, but there's no way you would really be, effectively able to carry this like IWB. This you definitely could, but again, you're just kind of rocking a lower capacity. And then, of course, we have, the good old 44 mag over here. Shout out from South Wales. Interesting. 44 mags. This is the Ruger Red Hawk chambered in 44 Magnum. And it's about, I think it's kind of hard to tell, but it's about the same size as that 357, maybe a little bit bigger, not quite by much. 44 mag is an incredibly large and powerful round, but shooting it out of a gun this size with the weight that's just inherently there with the revolver really isn't too bad. I guess I would kind of equate this as like shooting a 12 gauge slug out of a shotgun, like in a kind of a handgun form. It is going to be a little snappy. There is going to be a little bit of recoil, of course, but it's really not terrible. My grandfather has the Dirty Harry 44 mag. Yeah, that's the classic. This one, my grandpa actually set up to like deer hunt with, so it does have like a little bit of a magnified optic to it, which I think is like kind of fun. I didn't take it off just because I feel like it's just vibey as hell. And to be honest, like I'm not really going to use this revolver for like, to be honest, really any practical purpose. I do enjoy taking this to the range and hitting like 100, 150, 200 yard shots. Like when you're really focusing, and you can absolutely do it. And that 44 mag definitely has the power to do that too. So it's fun to take to the range and get some distance shooting in for sure. As far as this little guy, I feel like it's a single shot accurate gun. Follow-ups are hard. Yeah, 100%. Like I said, like for like, I know in like Alaska, they use this for like bear defense and stuff like that. And for those types of purposes, I think it's very viable. Any sort of like, I don't know, like I can't really imagine using this for like home defense or like EDC. Like it's not really a super practical gun in those sense. Appreciate everyone joining here. If you're just getting in, I really would appreciate a subscribe to the channel. We got all sorts of content that drops all the time. And I'm trying to rock some more of these live streams because I do really enjoy everyone's comments and just kind of chit-chatting around. Dylan Davis, I got a 627 Performance Center S&W. It's an 8-round 357 mag with a comp. Wait, I got to look that up. That's kind of cool. I know some of these companies are kind of coming out with a little bit more like tactical revolvers, I guess. And I think they're fucking sick. The cost of the revolver is really just kind of a barrier to entry for me to getting any more. I mean, obviously I have these 3 here sitting on the table. I think I might have 1 or 2 more in the collection somewhere, but it's one of those things, like, they are nice looking pieces. Like, it's definitely a little bit of like history and Americana and just kind of like Dirty Harry vibes. But to have a gun that's going to be like over $1,000 and not really have a ton of practical purpose for it is like, it's a little tough to swallow. Own any Walthers? I do not own any Walthers. I think my dad has some in his collection, so I've definitely shot them before. Just haven't really pulled the trigger on one. Not that there's anything wrong with them. I think they're great guns. It's the best trigger I've ever felt. 1.5 pound trigger on a revolver? I assume it's like single action only then, right? I would love to own a Civil War era Lamat 9-round revolver. Yeah, that would be. I love the old school guns are definitely. I mean, I like the new school's like tactical stuff too, but I don't know. There's something about like, I don't know, like just both of these, right? Like the Smith & Wesson and the RPK, like just something about like that kind of like wood furniture, old school vibes. That really does it for me. As far as revolvers go, I would actually really like to do, one of the, it's single and so the double action's got to be more than 1.5 pounds, right? I would assume. But I would really love to do a Colt Python with, I don't know if y'all have seen like, I'm just going to call it like the tactical chassis, where essentially like it goes over the muzzle and gives you a comp, and then it also rails the top, so you could put an optic, and then I think there's a rail on the bottom, so you could actually put a light. 6-inch barrel and rubberized grip. That's pretty nice. I got to check that out. How much was that piece? The S&W is crisp. Yeah, I like this gun quite a bit. 3 pound for the double action. Yeah, this was, I think, the first revolver I really ever shot. And it really did just make it like a very pleasurable shooting experience, just because like 6-inch barrel, it's got a ton of weight. Shooting that 357 out of it is really not bad at all. And shooting the 38 special out of this is like nothing. Again, when you're kind of comparing that to like these tiny little baby revolvers, it is not nearly as much fun to shoot these. And to be honest, I mean, I was never really like a huge, 1700. Yeah, if you like the gun, man, and it's worth it to you, go for it. But that's a lot of money to spend on a fucking revolver. I think you said how many rounds did it have? I'm going to look up in the comments here. I don't remember. But yeah, dude, to spend $1,700 on a gun that like is just not going to be as good as something like just a 9mm double stack like EDC weapon is kind of, you know, it's fun. Like, it's fun to have all of these, but as far as like a practicality standpoint, not necessarily the most practical. What was I talking about? But yeah, no, I like this one quite a bit. I think out of the 3, 8 rounds. Yeah, I got to say that this is my favorite to shoot. So 6-round, 44 mag, Ruger Red Hawk. It's just fun. Like, there's something about shooting that big ass round out of a handgun that just like is an absolute blast. I think funny enough, I was at the first time I shot this, I was at some outdoor range, and they had I don't think it was like match grade steel, but they had like, it was a piece of a railroad track, like a square piece of a railroad track. And I shot this at it, and I just put fucking 44 caliber holes through that piece of metal, and the dude was pissed. But it was kind of fun, you know, par for the course. If I get a revolver, it's the Chippa Rhino and 4-inch barrel. Yeah, that one's nice and ridiculous too. Again, man, the revolvers are super cool. It's just the cost for them. Like, they're kind of, I don't want to call them collector's items, because they are like, you know, they're viable weapons. My local gun shop has an S&W revolver in 30-30. That's got to be ridiculous. But dude, revolvers are cool guns. It's just one of those things where, like, if you don't have a ton of disposable income and you're looking for like a good handgun, it's just hard to ration that. Nice shovel handle buttstock. Oh yeah, dude, the shovel handle stock is always the vibe on this one. I should prop that up. The wife has a Ruger SP101 and 357 mag. It's crazy snappy. Not a fan. Yeah, that's what this one is. I thought it was a 2-inch barrel. I mean, maybe your version's a little bit different than mine. So this is the Ruger SP101. It's just their Tallow edition. Just it's got like a little bit of an upgraded grip with the redwood grip and rubberized, and it's also got these, kind of hard to appreciate on the camera today, but these fancy little engravings everywhere. I kind of wanted to like fulfill my Texas cowboy LARP fantasy with this one, so I ended up buying it, and it's a ton of fun. I honestly recommend carrying the Obers because if you miss, at least blind and deafen your attacker. Yeah, yeah. 2 sounds about right. I wanted to say it's a 2-inch barrel, and like that's what I was talking about. I haven't really ever been too much of like a barrel length stickler in a sense. Like obviously I have a fucking AK over here with like a 9-inch barrel, 8-inch barrel, I think that one is. But this one specifically with that 2-inch barrel, man, I like suck with it. I don't know if it's just me or if it's like the barrel length, but even at like fucking 25 yards, which is not far, like I really do struggle to get good groups with this. Also, I don't know if I could really show y'all, but like the sights on this one kind of suck too. I mean, you could kind of see it's got a little U-notch and just like a little post up front. The U-notch is not colored. The post is not colored. The sights are just straight up not the best. I'd rather shoot my Deagle any day of the week. 50 cal is so smooth on it. Okay, so I've actually been looking into getting a 50 cal Desert Eagle, and everyone I've talked to, I've shot it once, but it was so many years ago, I actually don't remember. So do you actually like, is it actually kind of pleasant to shoot or nah? So you got to learn how to shoot revolvers. Yeah, well, I'm good with this one, man, and I'm good with this one. I've hit very, 100 yard shots with this one all day, every day. And with this one, I'm pretty good. This one specifically, there definitely is, there's definitely user error. I'm not going to claim I'm like the best revolver shooter in all the land, but with a 2-inch barrel and kind of shitty sights, it's a little rough. Even like the Smith & Wesson, like not that these are like the most phenomenal sights in the world, but you have a little colored outline U-notch and a little like orange on that front sight post as well. So I'm able to pick those up and line those up pretty dang well. But just with this one, not really having any sort of like color system, it's rough. My dad had a Desert Eagle in 357, 44, and 50 AE, and they were his favorite handguns. Do the Desert Eagles, do they like jam all the time? Because that was another thing I was reading. Like I said, I've shot them before, but I really haven't like range tested any of them. Of course, the Desert Eagle that I have picked out to get is like, I don't think I want to go with the all gold version, but I think I would go with the like black and gold, black with the gold like frills, I guess is the best way. And it's like, I think like $2,700. So I'm kind of having a hard time pulling the trigger on that just because I don't really know what I would like use it for. That's why I sold my Smith & Wesson. I just couldn't hit shit and decided to stick to semi-auto. But I like the old single actions. Yeah, again, like I think it's just a lot of, I'll say a lot of user error with this one. But I kind of find that I really suck with these really small handguns for some reason. I have a Springfield like 911. Basically, it's like just this tiny little pocket like 380 gun. And check out the case-hardened Desert Eagle. It looks so good. I'll check that out. So if you limp wrist the Deagle, it will jam. His were pretty reliable as long as you weren't using cheapo ammo. Well, that's the thing for, like, if I were to get, because if I'd get the Desert Eagle, I'd get it in 50 cal, right? But, like, is there even cheap 50 cal ammo? I don't know. Like, from what I was looking at, like, the 50 AE was, like, what, like $2 a round? And I was like, man, it's just hard to stomach. I'm wondering, is your RPK Romanian? Really cool stuff. +1 subs. Keep it up, man. Well, hey, I appreciate the subscribe. If you're just tuning into the live stream, I do love the comments, and I would super appreciate any subscriptions to the channel. It really does help me out. Yeah, this is a Romanian parts kit RPK. Rocking the Dead Air Wolverine suppressor on the front. Got the classic bipod. I'm actually rocking a Russian surplus sling on this guy as well. I do have the OG Romanian wood furniture. And I did add the carry handle for the vibes. Desert Eagle is available in 357, and there's a list of recommended ammo from Magnum Research. I feel like it's hard to buy a Desert Eagle. I don't think I would want one in 357 though. You know what I mean? Like if I'm buying the Deagle, like I want a 50 cal Desert Eagle because like why the fuck not? I really would like to find one used. I feel like everyone's always selling them. Like everyone I've talked to for like that's had one, they fucking like they sell them. If you own a Deagle in 50, you can buy a 44 mag conversion. It's just a barrel switch and a magazine change. You could shoot either. Yeah, but is 44 mag really even like? Is it even that much cheaper than 50 AE? I truly just don't know. Do you deer hunt, and if so, what gun do you use? Yeah, deer hunt quite frequently. I've actually been kind of more into bow and crossbow, but I have two guns set up to deer hunt. One is a Browning, like just slug gun, 12 gauge with I think like a 4 to 8x scope on it. I love 12 gauge for hunting. I think it's a blast. And the other gun, I don't have it here with me. I think it's at my dad's place right now, but it's a 450 Bushmaster. I think it's the Ruger Ranch Rifle chambered in 450 Bushmaster. And that gun's fucking fun to shoot. It is a bolt action, so obviously it's not like high speed, but the 450 round is just it is diesel as shit. And it just fucking drops those deer like fucking nobody's business. They also have 357 mag conversions for the 50. I guess that'd be fun if you're trying to shoot like cheaper rounds. The three guns that I'm looking at, like the three new guns that I would buy, I'm looking at the Desert Eagle, I'm looking at this crappy 1911, and then the PSA Crank. Those are the three guns that I really want right now. I'm kind of like living in poverty at the moment, and I'm not fucking selling any of my guns, so I'm just trying to kind of like pay the bills before I spend like $3,000 on a fucking Desert Eagle. Here in Massachusetts, you can't rifle hunt, so we use slugs or muzzle loaders. Ooh, 8-pointer with muzzle loader kit I built. Okay, so I actually have no experience with muzzle loaders. I think I have three. I have three in the gun case, and I have never shot one. I throw all those away and buy a Scar 17. I'm not actually a huge Scar fan. I don't know why. They're good guns. This aesthetically, they don't do it for me for some reason. But they're cool. Yeah, no, I have a couple of muzzle loaders that I like inherited from my grandpa, and like, I don't know. My dad was like telling me about them, and I was like, oh, I just want to take him to the range and shoot him. He's like, yeah, it's not fucking worth it. Like just to like take to the range and shoot. And for me, like I said, for deer, I'm usually rocking the 12 gauge or that 450 Bushmaster. But I appreciate everyone tuning into the live stream. If you're just getting here, welcome to the Muzzle Broke channel. We got tons of content. We got shorts, we got longs, we got lives, we got all the things. If you could subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. And for the YouTube AI chat moderators, there are no firearm sales on the channel. I really don't want to keep getting flagged. 308 recoils like 5.56. Yeah, I would love to have a Scar would be cool. Again, the price is just what gets me. I don't mind spending money on guns, fucking clearly, but to have something like a Scar for just range LARP purposes to spend the money is a little rough. But I mean, that being said, I've considered selling this one. It always like, I feel like it takes a piece of my soul every time I sell a gun. And I've really only sold one or two. And not that I say I like regret the ones that I sold, but it's always kind of like, should I have held on to that, Really, the only gun that I've sold in recent years is the PSA AKV, like their little 9mm AK. I'm trying to remember why specifically I sold it. I just didn't love it as much as I needed to. Buy once, cry once, or sob and divorce once. I'm surprised Pickles hasn't hopped on the live stream, but he's been divorced twice apparently. I'm doing my best not to get divorced, but I guess I'd have to get married first. But I don't know. It's hard to sell me on a marriage because women are just incredibly expensive, and I'd rather buy guns, Jesus Christ, he says. I'm 25, been divorced. Dude, it's rough, man. It's rough out here for a pimp. I just, I don't know, man. I find a lady that buys you guns. Yeah, I mean that's the fucking dream. Um, I'd be a great little sugar baby. I'd be a great stay-at-home wife too. I mean, the house is always clean. Food's always actually. I don't really eat that much. Food's too expensive, so I've been just kind of like not eating as of late. It's a little bit more financially beneficial. Um, Money is better spent on guns than women, in my opinion. Dude, honestly, I agree. There were like a couple months there, like, I don't know, back in the day, you know, when it's like, if you sit there and add up like how much money you spend on like dates and shit, like it just adds up. And you're like, fuck, like, all right, like if I would have just not gone any dates this year, I could have bought that fucking $3,000 Desert Eagle and like actually had it, you know? Um, yeah, I don't know. I started Venmo requesting girls after they ghost me, so I like just try and get some of my money back, but it usually doesn't work, unfortunately. Um, 629, 686. I'm not quite sure. We got the Smith & Wesson 357. This is the Ruger SP101 in 357 and 38 special, and the Ruger Red Hawk chambered in that 44 mag. Also, not really meaning to talk about these today, just forgot to put them up, but the Rifle Dynamics Quick Hatch in 7.62 by 39, and we got a Romanian parts kit RPK hanging out in the background too, and that one's also chambered in 7.62 by 39. If y'all are just popping on the channel, appreciate you joining the live stream, and if you could hit the channel with a subscribe, I would really appreciate it. I'm a weirdo collecting AK mags, bro. 1 Bakelite, 2 Slabside, and also 2 RPKs 40, but they're Russian Molots. Wish I can get a Type 3 AK kit too. Pickles, what's up? We were just talking about your divorces. Yeah, this one, I think this is just a KCL mag 40 rounder that I kind of like just scruffed up a little bit to fit the vintage RPK. Dude, I would really love some Bakelite mags. Every time I go to look at them, they're so incredibly like nauseatingly expensive, and I can't stomach that on a mag. Yeah, Pickles, welcome back to the live stream. I think you have straight up been on every single one of my live streams, and I always appreciate you. Today we were talking kind of about revolvers. Are they practical? We have a Smith & Wesson 357, Ruger SP101, and the Ruger Red Hawk? Yes, in 44 mag. And then you have my couple AKs hanging out in the background too, because I can't help myself. Yeah, AK mags I don't understand why they're so expensive. Like when you're trying to get like some of the OG stuff, like even some of the like, I don't know. I don't care about mags. It's one of those things like if they function, they function, and I'm not going to spend like, I think there are a couple like online paint job tutorials that kind of give you that like Bakelite look. But I haven't really seen one that like looks actually good. I feel like they all kind of look like a little shitty in a sense. So I haven't really gone all out on the Bakelite paint jobs or anything like that. Agree. Look at the barrel. Which barrel, homie? Revolvers are only practical if you're Jerry Michaluk. Yeah, I don't know how the fuck to pronounce that dude's name, but I know exactly who you're talking about. Like I said, I ended up buying this one to carry and just never seriously carried it, I guess, in a sense, just because of like the width of the wheel, and it's only got 5 rounds. And honestly, more than any of that, I just kind of suck with it. Like I was kind of saying earlier, all right, you can shit on me, use your error, whatever, but just with like the small grip compared like on top of the 2-inch barrel, and the sights on this gun are like fucking non-existent. So just with those 3 factors, like I just have always kind of sucked with this gun. So I never really wanted to carry it, and like, God, that would suck. Like have to use it and then just whiff and die. So don't really carry this one too much. I usually just kind of have this one like out on one of my whatever, like little coffee tables for decor. Yeah, I mean, this house is just kind of littered. Like I got like the deer fucking skull over there. Like it's a very bro house for sure. But yeah, dude, I do love all of these revolvers. Like I said, this one's probably the most miserable to shoot. This one's probably the most pleasant, but the 44 mag is definitely the most fun. I do like the engravings on this one. Definitely very cool, but probably not worth the ridiculous price tag. I feel like in any sort of practical sense, like I don't know, man. It's hard to beat 9 mil for a practicality sense because I truly feel like you kind of get the best of both worlds in a sense of like you get a high capacity, you get a fairly ballistically reasonable round with low recoil and low muzzle flip as well. So 9 mil is hard to beat, but revolvers are definitely a lot of fun. If you're just tuning into the live stream, appreciate you being here. Hit the channel with a subscribe if you can. I would really appreciate it. Every subscriber that I get is one little baby step closer to quitting my job. So I really want to quit my job. I hate my job. I hate it so much. Yeah, so revolvers and practicalities today. My grandfather bought a coffee can of 44 mag for $40 at a gun show in Florida. There you go. Yeah, I want to say that I actually have some reloaded 44 mags that I've got just squirreled away somewhere, man. You got some pretty nice pieces. Well, I appreciate that, Trash Panda. I do my best. All my guns are kind of a conglomerate of collections from me, my dad, my grandpa, all kind of mismatched together. If you ever see like a nice and ridiculous gun like this one, there's a good chance it's mine. And if you ever see some like quality older pieces in the collection, usually I inherited those. All of the AK stuff is mine because my AK fetish is just unchecked. And I did end up getting schemed into buying this little revolver here that I actually really hate. Not that I hate it, it's just I don't shoot very well with it, and for what I paid for it, it hurts a little bit. Al Ree asks, best gun for home defense. Well, I'll let you boys, everyone comment their go-to home defense gun. I'd love to hear it. For me, I have a couple of guns in rotation. I usually have a handgun and I usually have like some sort of SBR. To be honest, the handgun that I'm most usually running on my nightstand is just a Glock 17 Gen 3. No frills, nothing super fancy. Everyone will shit on Glock all day, every day, but there's one thing you can't really shit on, and it's the reliability with it. It's a very reliable gun. The Glock 17 for me is one of the official ammo alchemist. What's up, man? The Glock 17 for me is just like one of the, I'm most comfortable with it. It was kind of the first like full-size handgun I bought back in the day, and I've just got thousands of rounds through it, and I feel very efficient with it. I'm running a Surefire X300 on that as well with some hollow points. So yeah, like Glock 17, and then before I kind of made this gun all ridiculous looking, I was running this with a suppressor as a home defense gun. Right now, I have the Glock 17 Gen 3, and that's sitting next to a 10.5-inch 300 Blackout AR with a suppressor and like a shake wake optic. I think I'm running the Hollow Sun AMES on that. Yeah, so usually I do two. Usually I do like Glock 17 handgun right there, and then some sort of short barrel 30 cal rifle type setup next to it as well. But you were right with the Glock 17 especially. Yeah, dude, I like it, man. Everyone will shit on the Glock, but it's a good gun. It's effective. I probably should upgrade from the Gen 3. I probably should buy like good live, man. I'm going back to work. Well, Mr. Dylan Davis, appreciate you joining us and time thefting from your boss with me. It really makes me happy to stick it to the man. So appreciate you joining. Please subscribe to the channel if you can. I would really appreciate it. I love doing these lives and I love the comments, so keep them going. 12 gauge shotgun for home defense. Yeah, dude, very viable option as well. I have a mag-fed 12 gauge AK that I like quite a bit. I've ran that before. I don't know, man. The reliability of the like semi-auto 12 gauges is, you got to get the right piece. And then as far as like a pump action 12 gauge, I don't think I would run one for home defense. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but having to remember to like manually pump, I know how I am, and I feel like I'd get all excited and worked up, and I'd fucking shoot once and then forget to pump it and just click, and then I die. Browning light machine gun is the best for home defense. Agreed. Pistol grip pump shotgun. But are you going to remember to pump, Pickles? Are you? Gen 3 is my favorite. I love my Gen 3. I'm actually curious. This is Jonathan Williams. I'm actually curious why the Gen 3 is your favorite specifically. I bought the Gen 3 because I wanted the most aftermarket bullshit for it. So that's why I ended up with the Gen 3. I do really like it, but I feel like I should probably upgrade to the Gen 5 and get like the MOS. Pickles is pumping right now, he says. I love that. 762 Yugo. Overly duct taped, but dope is dope. I don't have any Yugos in the collection. If you were talking about this one, it's the Rifle Dynamics Quick Hatch. It feels so comfortable and natural. Yeah, I guess the Gen 3s do have the like the finger grooves and all that good stuff, and I actually really like the finger grooves. Dylan says, I have a 12 gauge Mossberg Maverick and my Winchester Model 94 and 30-30 that I rotate with. Those are both solid choices. The 30-30 is a wild caliber. I like shooting those quite a bit. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but hello, sorry. I'm going to try. Man. Hi, what's up, man? But yeah, if you guys are just joining the live stream, appreciate you joining. Please throw me some shenanigan comments, and please subscribe to the channel. If you could, I would really appreciate it. And for the YouTube AI chat moderators, there are no firearm sales. Please don't take down my live stream again. How many what, dog? Trash Panda agree. Pickles, get to work. Shouldn't you be finding a third wife to divorce, Pickles? Wish I had a semi-auto shotgun, but I do love my Remington 870 Wingmaster. Yeah, I have semi-auto shotguns are a ton of fun, and there are definitely some really good, reliable ones. Just the AK 12 gauge semi-auto is questionable. The price point, we were talking about the Gen 3 Glocks. The price point, and like you said, the toys and how you can dress her up. Yeah, I agree. Dylan Martin says, in Massachusetts, anyone under 21 can't own semi-autos. So I have to stick with lever, pump, bolt, or single shot. That's a weird fucking rule. That's weird. That's very odd. All right. Pickles says he's working on the third wife to divorce right now. Good job, Pickle. Pickles, what are you on? Are you on like Tinder or Hinge or Bumble? Where are you finding all these women? Trash Panda asks, what's my favorite gun? As far as long guns, I'd probably have to say right now, this guy, the Rifle Dynamics Quick Hatch, just a short little, I'll get up and show you. Rifle Dynamics Quick Hatch, chambered in 7.62 by 39. I probably need to get this fucking shovel handle stock off. It's super easy to take off, and I'll probably just put the J-Max stock back on and tape it a little bit. So it's just maybe a little bit more practical. But I figured I'd rock the shovel handle on her for a little while. But that's probably my favorite long gun. My favorite handgun right now is probably the P226 Zev that I have in the collection. I normally have that one hanging out. That one's just, it looks fucking badass, and it's a ton of fun. Love to get my hands on some classic Grands M1 Grands. Yeah, that'd be dope. I just, I think I want to say I found some for like $1,700, and I was just like, I don't want to fucking pay that. Hi, Bandit. What's up? Vishura, the shovel handle is based. The shovel handle is fucking based, dude. It's just not very practical, unfortunately. But like I said, they take like 2 seconds to switch out. It's literally just a screw. What were you talking about, Jonathan, then? I'm sorry if I'm screwing up here. I'm going pheasant hunting tomorrow. I'm bringing my Mossberg Silver Reserve. Have you ever been? I love pheasant hunting. Where are you hunting pheasants at, if you don't mind me asking? But yeah, dude, pheasant hunting is actually, all right, not to get deep here, but my godfather actually just passed away yesterday. And a lot of my memories with him and my dad, my grandpa, are just shooting pheasants and stuff. Pheasant hunting's a blast. Well, how much should I be paying for an M1 Garand, I guess? I don't know. I also just, again, I don't, for a lot of these older guns, like the M1 Garands, and I'm trying to think of like, I don't know, nothing else is really coming to mind, like Romanian parts kits and stuff like that. Like, I feel the need to pick them up before they dry up. I don't know. There's just so many things I want. I really need to buy the fucking PSA crank and get it out of the way, because I do really want that one. Kingdom of Vinland is back. What's up, dog? Markover Hunting Preserve in Connecticut. Pheasant hunting is my favorite. Dude, pheasant hunting is a ton of fun, and I love eating pheasants. Jonathan Williams says about $1,200 is safe from a gun show for an M1 Garand. Yeah, dude, I don't know. I used to go to the gun shows all the time. And then I kind of just got pissed off by everyone. And they'll be like, yeah, it's like $3,000. I'm just like, no. Pickles, you're a little butthole. He was not. He was a good dude. Sucks to have him pass away. But, you have the hunting and the gun memories to go forward in his honor. But yeah, dude, pheasant hunting is a good time. Pheasant hunting is I like hog hunting quite a bit too. Hog hunting is probably my favorite just because I don't have to be quiet. I enjoy being loud and walking around and being a little bit of a jackass. What about pheasant hunting's fun? Deer hunting, not that I hate it. I hate sitting there in the cold and not moving and being quiet. It's not necessarily the most fun in all the land, but it is what it is, I guess. If you guys are just tuning into the channel, I appreciate you joining the live stream. If you could hit the channel with a subscribe, I would really appreciate it. We have all sorts of content current and dropping and yet to come. There's all sorts of stuff. When did you first start making gun-centered YouTube content? I have been wanting to do it for a while. I started the channel in September. So September, October, November, so about 3.5 months. About 3.5 months. I've been posting every single day, and it has, to be incredibly honest, been a lot of work. Some videos take off, other ones shit the bed, and it doesn't seem to matter how much time you put into videos. Some just do well, and some just fucking suck. Pickles, when are you going to make me a moderator? You're my moderator. Boom, there you go. Kingdom of Vinland. I wish AAC would release the 545. They'd probably corner the 545 mark. Yeah, they would. It's just, I don't know if the 545 market is incredibly amazing just because so many people I know me, dude, I love my fucking AKs, but dude, I just avoid 545 like the fucking plague because I don't want to pay for the rounds. But yeah, no, I was kind of waiting on, honestly, that was one of the bigger reasons I didn't buy the Crink yet, is I was waiting on them to drop their 545 and then probably buy the Crink in 545. Because I think that'd be fucking cool. Trash Panda asks, what was my first gun? I actually have a YouTube long form video dedicated to the lore of my first gun that I dropped on Thanksgiving, actually. My first gun was the Ruger Mark II. It's a 22 LR little handgun, pretty long barrel, but that was my first gun. It was a ton of fun. I still enjoy shooting that. Jonathan Williams says, I want to go hunting so badly, but I'm in Ohio in the city. So I have to set that trip up to go to Texas. Good hunting in Ohio, though, man. There's a lot of good hunting videos. Dylan Martin, fishing. I saw the first gun video, banger. Well, I appreciate that. I feel like no one liked that one. Dude, the long form videos are always such a bust. I feel like no one fucking watches them. And it's not to bitch about my YouTube plight, but dude, the long form videos take so fucking long to edit and put together. Like a 5 to 10 minute long form video probably takes me about an hour to an hour and a half to film, edit, tune up the sound, and fucking post. It takes so fucking long. And then I get 50 views and I want to fucking blow my brains out. The lore, he says. Yeah, there is a bit of lore in that video. The history, muzzle broke history time. Jonathan Williams is working on an 8.6 build to take to South Texas in the spring to hog hunt. Yeah, dude, hog hunting's a ton of fun. You'll enjoy it. If you really want to be super mega ultra based, they fucking do. I know in Texas, they do, helicopter full auto hog hunts where they just take you up in a chopper, give you a fucking full auto AR and thermal sights, and you just fucking hose these pigs. You've earned a loyal subscriber in me. Well, thank you, Dylan Martin Fishing. I appreciate the comments and I appreciate the subscribe. If you're just joining the live stream, I love panhandling for subscribers. Hit me up, bro, with a subscribe. Plenty of content, plenty of lore, plenty of guns. What else? I'm trying to think if there's something. I went black bear hunting once. That was really fun, but I didn't see a fucking black bear, so it was kind of lame. My dad got one though, so that was cool. So we have the black bear rug is hanging out, I think somewhere at his place. I prefer Type 56 AKs or OG Russian milled AKs. Well, I would fucking love an OG Russian AK, but unfortunately, I am just a broke little bitch. Shooting hogs from a chopper. What the fuck? That sounds sick. Yeah, dude, I think it's like $3,000 or something, but, you just fucking like, they just do everything. Like you just roll up and they take you up in this, it's in Texas somewhere, I believe. I always like kind of tease doing that for a bachelor party if I ever had one, but I think Vegas and strippers would probably be both more fun and a little bit more financially responsible. But yeah, dude, I would love that. Jonathan Williams, make that 2 new subs. You're a cool. Well, I appreciate that. I try not to be a fucking twat waffle. And I think I have some pretty good content, although I am biased because it is my channel. But I appreciate the subscribe, really, man. Dylan says, I was supposed to go on a hog hunt in Florida, but I was sick. So my mom went instead. No. Dude, I want to go python hunting in Florida. I think that would be fucking awesome. I think that would be a ton of fun. The problem with the chopper hog hunts is you don't get the meat. To be incredibly honest, the meat's not good. I've killed a good handful of hogs, and even they're fucking gross, man. Like they eat like just anything, and they'll eat each other and stuff too. Like they're fucking dirty. Usually when I kill a hog, I'll at least take the back straps off of them and eat them. But to be honest, it kind of just tastes like shitty pork. It's not good meat, but to each their own. I only collect mags. Oh, okay. Yeah. Dude, yeah, the Russian mags would be cool. But dude, again, anytime I see them, they're at the gun show and it's like, oh, would you like to buy a $140 fucking AK mag? And I'm like, no, I'd rather not. Vegas fun with the cocaine and hookers. Good times. Yeah, Pickles. That's why you're getting divorced all the time. Oh, muzzle broke. I got a python you can wrestle. I don't know if your third ex-wife would appreciate that, Pickles. I think it would be cool if a company made clones of really early AK models. Dude, I was just saying this yesterday. I want there to be more like old school reproductions. Like we were talking about the PSA STG 44, but apparently they canceled that project. Someone let me know if I'm wrong. But dude, doing like the STG 44 and like MP40s and PPSH and old school AKs and RPKs and like Thompson, like that would be fucking awesome. Like that would be really cool to get like accurate reproduction of those guns, but no one wants to do it. Everyone's too like, I don't know, shit up their ass. Trash Panda asks, it's a good thing though, right? Because the hogs are not native or what? Yeah, so the hogs in Texas, Florida, a lot of the South, I think they are native. I don't fucking know. They're an invasive species and they do a lot of fuckery. They like rut with their little fucking snouts. So they fuck up all the farmers' crops. And in the cattle industry, then they like make these fucking holes when they're like rooting for the fucking shit. And the cows step in them and fucking break their legs, like the steers and stuff for meat. So all the farmers and stuff, they fucking hate them. So whenever you have like I've had so many people be like, oh, like you shoot things? Like, can you fucking come kill all of these hogs on my property, please? And I'm like, well, yes, I can. And then you go shoot them. It's a ton of fun. You should try Mississippi mud. It's a really good hog recipe. I'll have to look that up next time I get one. A Wheel Pew is a wheel gun, like a revolver. So YouTube specificities. So one on YouTube Lives, I can't pick up guns, which is why I'm not picking any of them up. And if you say gun, like if you say like, if I was like, oh, like revolver or gun in the title of the video or of the live, I think they nerf it a little bit. Like they don't push it. So that's why it's kind of lame, but I have to be like, oh, like best wheel pew or best self-defense pew, because YouTube will fucking castrate my videos, which I don't appreciate. PSA canceled because they couldn't figure out the Kraut space magic. Dude, all right, if we're going to be fucking talking about these German guns, they need to fucking release the goddamn semi-auto MP7. And that Tommy-built MP7 is retarded. I don't accept that. I don't accept it. HK should fucking release the MP7 in semi-auto. They would make a ton of money. I don't know why they don't do that. I don't think the AAC Sturm are outright canceled, but I think they've shelved that project. My dad used an AK-47 in the South African Nation Defense Force. Interesting. Whenever I think invasive species in the South, I think the kudzas. I know what those are, but I'm having a hard time thinking about specifically what they are, like of an image. The hunting is a lot of fun. I do really enjoy a hunt. It's one of those things where like you kind of have to allocate your time, right? Like, I don't know, again, trying to quit my job, doing the best I can here, but it's like, all right, I got like 2 weekend days. I can either binge drink, go on dates, shoot targets, work on guns, go hunt. Like there's too much to do. And then, fucking cleaning and cooking and just slaving away in that regard is always a fucking goddamn nightmare. But if you're just joining the live stream, appreciate you joining us today. If you could hit me with a subscribe to the channel, I would really appreciate it. We got tons of awesome content, tons of awesome guns, tons of shooting videos, tons of shenanigans. And for the YouTube AI chat moderator, no firearm sales. Dylan Martin Fishing, I hope you can quit your job soon. Yeah, me too. It's not going to be, though. I'm actually really struggling to monetize the channel. I don't get paid. I have no sponsors. I get nothing for free, and YouTube gives me $0.00. So probably not going to be able to quit anytime soon unless Pickles wants to bankroll me, which I don't think he will because he's got to pay for 2 divorces. So, I'm trying to think of. All right, sorry, we didn't read the kuzu is that plant in the South that basically swallows everything up. There's some other like invasive species in Texas that I know that I think it's got a similar name to that. And it's kind of like a little deer looking thing, but it's a wee bit different. Yeah, Pickles does have way too many alimony checks, but that's Pickles' vibe. Pickles was stabbed too before. We bonded over being stabbing victims, I think 1 night ago. When we had some kid from like O Block, Chicago was in the live stream, like just telling us all about all his ops and how he does things. It was interesting live stream that day. But yeah, so today the guns we're talking about, if you're just tuning in, well, I feel like we haven't talked about them in a second. So this is the Smith & Wesson revolver in 357, 38 special. Got the Ruger SP101 in 357 and 38 special as well. And we got the Ruger Red Hawk in 44 mag. Yes, maybe that. I was talking to the kudu. That's what I was thinking of. Is that how you say it? Massive gazelle-ish creatures? That sounds about right. I've never been stabbed, but I have been shot. Dylan Martin Fishing. All right, wait. When'd you get shot, dog? We got to hear all about the lore. While he's typing us when he got shot, we also have the Rifle Dynamics Quick Hatch little shorty AK and then the Romanian parts kit. RPA LARPing around in the back corner. Dead Air Wolverine suppressor on that. I really want to hear why Dylan got shot. Probably, where should I go to happy hour today? There's this like whiskey bar that I wanted to try. We have the kudu in South Africa. How did they get in America, bruh? That's got to be the animal I'm thinking of. But I don't know, man. I don't know how things work. I'm just a simple internet clown. I'm just a little gun monkey boy, just trying to gun play around for your entertainment. I don't know anything about fucking anything. What gun should I buy next? The Krink or the Desert Eagle? Or I feel like I really want this 1911, but I feel like that would be quite the lame sauce gun purchase. All right, hold on. We got Dylan's shooting story. Ironically, while pheasant hunting, there was a group from Europe at the same camp, and they had a negligent discharge. Lucky I was 30, 40 yards away, so it wasn't life-threatening, but it did hurt. Hit me in the leg. They hit you with birdshot in the leg? That's gotta fucking suck, dude. 30, 40 yards is still, that's pretty close. Did they have to, like, dig out the pellets, I assume? But, yeah, I'm thinking about either the Krink, the Desert Eagle, or It's the Thesis 1911 are the guns that I was thinking about. I got to pull the trigger on one of them. Just not really sure which one I want to pull the trigger on. But that's a problem for another day. Steel, beautiful steel. Yeah, this one's sexy. It's the Smith & Wesson 357. I do like the Ruger SP101 as well. Where and Back Again has our answer for these invasive gazelle thingies. Sport hunters imported them for fenced hunting reserves, and populations got loose. Same for boar and ibex. Texas had all kinds of exotic animals running loose. That they do. I do like visiting Texas for sure. They were kicked out, and I dug. They were kicked out, and I dug the pellets out. Never went to the doctor. He's fine now. Limped for a while though, dude. That's actually pretty fucking badass. All right, my props to you, Dylan Martin Fishing, because I feel like I'd be a ginormous pussy and just be like, I gotta go to the hospital. Dude, that's crazy. I bet you still have 1 or 2 pellets in there that you forgot about. That's wild. Do you like 38 Special or 357? Doctors do fucking cost too much, especially that United Healthcare, you know. 38 Special or 357. So these both these guns are both 38 Special, 357. 357 out of a bigger gun like this is very manageable and fun. 357 out of this fucking sucks. So for smaller revolvers, 38 Special. For bigger revolvers, I'd say 357. They're both very, viable rounds, and they're pretty fun, but a little bit too snappy with the mini guns. Apparently there were camels in the U.S. The military bought them for Southwest, but they escaped and bred like rabbits. I don't know if they're still around. I have never seen a camel out in the wild, but I would sure like to shoot one. Alrighty, boys, I appreciate everybody tuning in the live stream. If you're just getting in, please subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate it. I think I'm actually about to rock out of here in a second because I haven't fucking done my long form video for the day, so I got to film and post and shit that out real quick. But appreciate everyone hopping on the live stream. Please hit me with subscribe. I'll probably hop on later tonight and do a live stream, but I'll probably be a little drunk. So if you want drunk shenanigans, tune into the live stream later. If not, I will see you all on the flip side. I appreciate everyone's comments. Dylan Martin Fishing, JJ, Where and Back Again, Kingdom of Vinland. Y'all are all classics. Trash Panda was a good one today too. So appreciate everybody tuning in. Subscribe to the channel. See you next time.